Yes, guys, welcome back to the United Stand. I'm Sander Seegers. Oh, I've got the wrong player up. I'm Sander Seegers, and Jack Grealish is looking to force a move out of Aston Villa this summer to get his dream move to Manchester United. It is said that Jack Grealish is looking to force Aston Villa to lower their asking price for the player so that, as I said, he can get his dream move to Manchester United. He feels like he's done enough at Aston Villa. He loves the club. He's, an Aston Villa fan since he was a child. However, he feels like he's done enough at the club and deserves his chance to move on to a big club like Manchester United and prove himself at the top level. Now, on one hand, of course, you want a player to force a move because it shows that they really want to play for your club, Manchester United, that they're driven, that they're motivated, that they're determined to play for Manchester United. But on the other hand, does that show some sort of negative quality out of a player that he's willing to force a move out of his home boy, his boyhood club? So it's two sides to the coin there, isn't it? It's a little bit iffy on whether I agree or disagree with someone forcing a move or not. But on Jack Grealish, what do you guys think? Welcome, by the way. Good morning. What do you guys think of Jack Grealish? Is he a player that you'd like to see Manchester United sign? Obviously, he didn't get into the England side this summer or for the Nations League friendlies. They're not really friendlies, but Nation League's matches because of Mason Greenwood. He didn't get into the squad because of Mason Greenwood. Gareth Southgate said that Mason Greenwood's development and maturity and finishing ability this season was too much to leave out. And I sort of thought, well, Jack Grealish and Mason Greenwood don't play in the same positions, do they? But according to Gareth Southgate, apparently they do. I see Mason Greenwood as more of a right-hand-sided player, and I see Jack Grealish more of a left/middle central sort of player, So, why they've been left out, I don't know, and I think Jack Grealish was very hard done by to not get a place in the England squad. However, could he get a place in the Manchester United squad? Is he a player that you guys would like to see play for Manchester United next season? Thanks for all of you guys' support in the comment. For those of you that aren't supporting, don't worry. You guys will filter out and come back for Goldbridge tomorrow or whatever it may be. I'm just happy to be here with you and speaking with you on a Saturday morning. Listen, it is a fairly slow news day, but I think this is a big news story, isn't it? The fact that Jack Grealish is willing to force a move out of his boyhood club to get that move to Manchester United. Aston Villa are asking for £80 million, which is a lot of money. So Jadon Sancho is only on 120 million. What the bloody hell is Jack Grealish worth? He's definitely not worth 80 million. I think he's definitely a player that I'd like to see play for Manchester United next season. As I said a couple of weeks ago, you look at what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing in the transfer market, and he seems to be recruiting captains. Harry Maguire is a captain. Bruno Fernandes is a captain. You bring in Jack Grealish, you've got another captain, and that's what you need in a squad. You need a team full of leaders. You don't need just one leader. Do you think all the great Manchester United sides in the past only had that one leader? Of course, you had Roy Keane, but in behind that, you had loads of leaders. In front of that, you had leaders galore. It was all about leadership at Manchester United, and I like that that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to do with this current squad. But for £80 million, that seems quite steep, doesn't it? So I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, as United says in the comments, Van der Beek is another option. I think you probably get him for less money, but isn't Premier League proven. Slightly more versatile, but I think versatility at times can be a sort of to your detriment as well, because you might be good at a lot of things, but you might not be great at one particular thing. I actually struggled myself with that playing football. Obviously, I was never going to be great at anything. I wasn't even good compared to these guys at anything. But for my level, I could play left back, right back, centre mid. Do you know what I mean? I could do a job up front if needs be. Goalkeeper, you never know, right? But I was never quality at one thing. And so I feel like with Van der Beek and Jack Grealish, you might be looking at those two different options. Quality at one thing in that central attacking midfielder role, and good a lot of other things, i.e. a little bit more versatile. But what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. It actually says Grealish is better than Van der Beek. Deadly says Wakanda Forever. Of course, we had the passing this morning of the protagonist in that film. I haven't seen it. Sanders is class. Thank you for that, pal. We've got a contribution here with the super chat. Thank you so much, Karen. He says, are you pulling your hair like us at United's transfers? Of course. Listen, I went to Old Trafford yesterday, ready to film a little transfer show for the United Stand for you guys so we can get some content outside Old Trafford. I live very close by. And I stood there and I had nothing to talk about. It was an absolute shambles. So I came back home, head in hands, hair in my hands, pulling my hair out. And listen, we're here today. This is big news, the Jack Grealish thing. I want to know what you guys think. Justin says, yeah, Grealish is better. However, Jesse W says Van de Beek is better than Grealish. I think it is a... Listen, if we get Van de Beek or Jack Grealish, I would be happy either way, of course. Do I think we should pay 80 million for Jack Grealish? No. So if it's within the 50 million region, I'd be happy with that. But I don't think we should be spending upwards of 80 million for Jack Grealish or someone like Donny Van de Beek, who you weren't going to pay that sort of money for anyway. But I just don't think it's valid. I don't think it's valid when you're not willing to spend 120 million on Jadon Sancho, who's clearly streets ahead of someone like Jack Grealish in their position. I mean, Jack Grealish is a fantastic player, but Jadon Sancho is levels. There's levels, isn't it? He's so good. And if you can't cough up 120 million for Jadon Sancho, then don't think you deserve to spend 80 million on someone like Jack Grealish. A lot of you guys in the comments saying Van de Beek, which is interesting. What do you guys say to the fact that he's not Premier League proven? I think that might be an issue. I mean, obviously, Donny van de Beek's done it at the top level in the Champions League in that great season where Ajax did so fantastically well. Scored a couple of goals, I think, against Real Madrid away in that famous win at the Bernabeu. So he's clearly done it at the top level, and he is talented. Listen, Real Madrid have been in for him last summer and this summer as well. He's a fantastic asset to Ajax, and he'll be a fantastic asset to whatever team he goes to this summer or next. But it's just whether the whole Premier League proven thing comes into it or not. A lot of you coming in the comments with Donny van de Beek. He's more cheap, he's better, which is interesting. Loads of comments coming in. We've got another super chat from Tom Parker. Thank you for your contribution, pal. He says, 100% go all in for Jack Grealish. He will be worth every penny. If we don't start filling our squad, we're going to end up 6th. Imagine if Bruno gets injured. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think if Bruno gets injured, I think you could play Pogba in a slightly more advanced position and play McTominay and Fred together to fill the midfield 3. But what you're saying is absolutely valid in that we need, we need our squad needs filling out, right? And we need strength and depth. But the fact that you need some players that won't come necessarily straight into the starting 11, you need some players to sit on the bench, doesn't mean that you go for bench quality players. You go for first team quality players to come in and create competition for places, which is why I like the idea of Jadon Sancho coming in, which is why I like the idea of Jack Grealish coming in. Because, yes, listen, Jadon Sancho starts if he comes into Manchester United, but eventually Mason Greenwood might take his place. Jadon Sancho might have a dip of form, right? But that doesn't mean that I want Mason Greenwood or Jadon Sancho to always sit on the bench. I want them to bring them in because they're first team quality players that are going to create competition for places, which is what I think about Jack Grealish too. Why not both? Dave says I think both would be slightly overkill. Especially if you think about it, Pogba is an attacking sort of advanced midfielder. So you've got Pogba, Bruno, Van de Beek, and Jack Grealish. That's a lot. I think that's a lot. For one position, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, and we were going to talk about as well, I'll get your comments in about that. We've got another contribution. It says, doing a great job, Sandra. It's good for the channel to have versatility. I just don't think we need Grealish. Centre-back and CDM, way more important. I'd agree with that, to be fair. I think we need a central attacking midfielder. I do think we need one. And I think if Manchester United were to act like a big club, like, I'm not saying Chelsea are a bigger club than us. They're not, absolutely not. But they're acting like one at the moment in the transfer window, aren't they? So if Manchester United were to act like the big club that we actually are, you'd go and fill all your holes in the team. So you'd go and get a central attacking midfielder, because despite maybe a centre-back and a central defensive midfielder being more important and higher up the list of priorities for Manchester United, a central attacking midfielder is absolutely required. As one of the super chats said earlier, what if Bruno gets injured? What if Bruno gets injured and Pogba gets his 2 months hamstring injury? Now, you could say, how unlikely is that your best two players get injured in a season? Listen, happened to us this season, didn't it? Look at them. Look, 3 best players. Pogba, injured all season. Martial, injured for 2 or 3 months. Rashford, injured for 2 or 3 months, broke his back. Do you know what I mean? It's unlucky, but Manchester United don't seem to get a lot of luck with injuries. We've got another super chat. Christ, thank you so much, Peter. He says, I have it on good authority, Van de Beek is not coming. Listen, we haven't heard anything in regards to Donny van de Beek, hence why we're not really reporting it. He's simply come up in conversation whilst talking about Jack Grealish. However, if that is the case and he isn't going to be coming into Manchester United, then obviously you look at Jack Grealish, but not for anything close to 80 million. But moving on from Jack Grealish, before we get on to some other transfer targets, I think it's important to talk about the how difficult this upcoming season will be for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if the summer transfer activity stays as it is. As we speak, we've not signed anyone apart from 2 fullbacks from Spain that are like 17 years old and Stefanovic from Partizan Belgrade, who's also 17 years old. So we've got no one to come into the first team as we speak, right? And you look at that Jose Mourinho season, the season before he got sacked, he got top 4, actually got second, right? Yes, we had that poor result against Seville in the Champions League, etc., etc. And there were problems arising at Manchester United under Jose Mourinho then. But you look at that team, right? He got second. What do then? You kick on in the summer, you go on, you improve, and you build on that second place position. You look at Solskjaer this season, he's got 4th. You go into the summer, you build on that that third place position, and you kick on for next season. What did Jose Mourinho get? Dalot and Fred. Now, not knocking Fred and not necessarily knocking Dalot, but those aren't 2 players that are going to come in and transform your side. There were clear holes in that team, like there were in this season's team. And they didn't get strengthened then, right? So he went into next season. Liverpool finished 4th that season. Liverpool strengthened in the summer, got Alisson, got Fabinho, got, I think, Naby Keita. They signed him. I know they signed him the season before, but those sorts of players they brought in, they went into next season, finished a point off top place, right? They came second, but by a point on the last day, right? You look going into this season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got 3rd place. There's clear holes, but there's a clear nucleus of a team that can do well there. You build on it, you strengthen, you go into next season, right? If we are going to be a big club, you sign someone, you strengthen, you go into next season, and you kick on. But what it looks like is happening so far is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not getting any backing. And you look at Chelsea, who are almost resemble Liverpool. Chelsea, good team, got 4th, got top 4. What they're doing? Building on it, right? Havertz will happen, won't it? Werner, Ziyech, Sarr, Thiago Silva, they're bringing in top quality players to build on what they had last season. And so I fear that Chelsea are going to go on and kick on next season. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to have 2 hands tied behind his back and potentially not get top 4 and get sacked for it. And then we'll bring another manager in. They'll invest in him. He'll get top 4. Then they won't invest. Then he'll get top 4. Then he'll get sacked. It's that never-ending cycle that will happen at Manchester United if you don't back your manager. And that is as simple as it is, isn't it? It's almost like Arsenal for 10 years under their owners, right? Top 4 were enough. We'll stop investing. Oh, we've fallen out the top 4. We'll invest a little bit. Oh, we've got top 4 again. And it's just that cycle of top 4, not top 4. And it's boring. Stop sacking managers and back them. Back your manager. It's boring. Manchester United board aren't acting like a Manchester United board should do. And I'm fed up with it. You guys are fed up with it and I'm fed up with it. Exactly. Chilwell went to Chelsea as well. How many top players are they trying to bring in? It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the show as well. By the way, we have got other transfer targets to be talking about, but I thought it would be interesting to quickly touch on that resemblance between this Manchester United side and Jose Mourinho's United side. Not in the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho the same managers, not in the sides even be anywhere similar, but simply being in the fact that the board aren't backing the managers after achieving good league positions, and that is so disappointing to see. Dane Grayson's hit the nail on the head. He says, no excuses, Leeds have just spent 30 million quid. I agree. Leeds not been in the top flight of English football for what? I don't know how many years. Decades, right? I think it's 16 years, right? They come into the league, 30 million quid. There you go, from Valencia. What was he called? Rodriguez, I think. Something along those lines. Bang. Signing, 30 million quid. Man United, we're still sitting on our arse getting our pants pulled down by Borussia Dortmund. It's silly, I'm fed up with it. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about this point for too long, and I do want to read your comments, but I am absolutely fed up with what's happening at Manchester United at the moment, and it's disappointing. Rodrigo, that's it, and it's disappointing to see what's happening at Manchester United. Cheddar Bob says, best way to start my Saturday, a rant from Sander Seegers, eh? Thank you guys for joining me. We really do appreciate all your viewership. We'll move on from Jack Grealish there, onto this guy, Maxi Gomez. Plays for Valencia, despite what you can see in the screen at the moment. He does play for Valencia at the moment. He got 10 goals, 4 assists last season. Valencia finished 9th. And apparently Valencia are going to be asking for 60 million euros as Manchester United turn their attention to out-and-out number 9. And again, this is a transfer that I don't want to see happen. I really don't want to see this deal happen. I haven't seen him play too much, to be fair, so I asked my mate, who lives in Spain. Jorge, he's called. And he said to me, I said, what's he like, mate? And he went, inconsistent, came to the league overweight, good for Valencia, not for a top club. And so I'll take that opinion. I know he knows what he's talking about. And so, listen, as he said, Gomez might be a fantastic player for Valencia, and he might do well at the mid-table La Liga side. But for Man United, we need better than that. And when you see people say we need an out-and-out number 9, I kind of disagree with that, to be fair, because I think what Solskjaer's building is a fluid forward line. That's what he's building. You know, you look at, people can say, oh, you need an out-and-out number 9 to do well at a big club and in Europe. Liverpool, best team in the league this season. Do they have an out-and-out number 9? Firmino, he's not their goal scorer. He's not their fox in the box, is he? It's Mane, Salah, they all interchange and create a forward, fluid, flowing line. Do you know what I mean? And that's nice to see. I think that's the way football's going. You even look at that... You look at that Manchester City side. Yes, Sergio Reguilon is a fantastic player, but when Gabriel Jesus comes into it, he doesn't score loads of goals. He does score, of course, he scores goals, but you know he's interchanging with Sterling, and when Sane was there, him and Bernardo Silva and David. It's all fluid, and that's the way I think football's going. And so I think that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trying to do. You look at Anthony Martial. People say he's not an out-and-out number 9. Well, he doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. You can get, if he scores 25 goals in a season, you can go, that's not enough from your Manchester United striker. But it is when Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford are scoring upwards of 20 goals as well. And I think that's fantastic to have. You spread the load and, you know, you save yourself of a huge loss if an injury comes, because let's say you're relying on 40 goals a season from your out-and-out number 9, right? He gets injured. Where else are you getting the goals from? Let's say you spread it 20-20-20. He gets injured, you've still got 40 goals coming in. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, people saying Lewandowski is a fantastic player and he's an out-and-out number 9. Of course, I agree. And there are systems in which you can play with an out-and-out number 9, and that works. It's worked throughout history. It will work going forward. But I don't quite think that that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to do at Manchester United, to be fair. I think he's trying to create, as I said, more of a flowing, fluid forward line where Rashford and Martial can interchange and Greenwood can switch sides, and they can all dizzy defenders, you know, they can really dizzy defenders, which I think is an exciting prospect definitely to have. Lohesh says Maxi Gomez is Olivier Giroud. Yeah, he's 6'1", and apparently, as I said, I asked my mate who watches Spanish football. He's a Barcelona fan, and he said, nah, don't rate him that much, to be fair. He said he doesn't rate him, so I'm going to read your super chats. Corey Wright simply contributed to the channel with a £5 contribution, so we really do appreciate that, Corey. You know, if you do want to contribute to the channel, make sure you get a question in there so I can answer that. I try and read all your comments as best as I can. However, if you guys do super chat, I'll make sure to read them. IZC Sports contribution, super chat, says, do you know why most of the match days have all teams playing at the same time? Yep, at the moment, the fixtures have simply come out at Saturday at 3 o'clock. The reason they get changed around to Monday, Sunday, you know, Saturday at 12:30 is because that's simply the TV schedule. So the TV broadcast fixtures will sort of be released nearer the season starts. At the moment, they're all Saturday at 3 o'clock. So I wouldn't worry about that. Or actually, the first week of the first round of matches have been released. I think the TV schedule, but if you can only see Saturday at 3 o'clock, then that'll be why. Ihab says, Sander, your friend must be fed up after Messi announced that he will leave and Bartomeu is staying. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd love to get him on one time. He knows what he's talking about football, so yeah. But we'll move on. Another Spanish player. By the way, I didn't ask you if you guys wanted Maxi Gomez. I presume you don't. Tick B says, there isn't time. We need players. Why aren't we signing anyone? Yeah, you guys are all, I don't know, you guys are all having a lovely little conversation in the comments. But we'll move on to this guy here, Sergio Reguilon from Spain, plays for Real Madrid, as you can see. Young player, 23 years old, left back. Apparently, Manchester United are keen on signing the player, and Real Madrid are willing to sell up for 20 to 25 million euros. Now, if that is the case, then I wouldn't be adverse to him, absolutely, because I think, despite Brandon Williams having a breakout season this season, I think he could potentially go and play, you know, back up or second fiddle, or at least create competition for places on that right-hand side for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because he is very right-footed, isn't he? Whereas on the left-hand side, then, you've only got Luke Shaw, and as you've seen with Luke Shaw throughout his career, injuries have most definitely been an issue for him. And so if we can bring Reguilon in, right, bring him in, 23 years old, 25 million, lovely. You can sit there, mate, create competition for places. Luke Shaw gets injured, Reguilón, you're in. Or, if Luke Shaw's not playing well, which has happened a lot over the last couple of seasons, Reguilón, you're in, right? And so, I would absolutely be for this deal. Again, I haven't seen him play so much. So, I asked Jorge, and I said, listen, mate, what's he like? What's this Sergio like, right? And he said, like him a lot. He likes him a lot. He's a Barcelona fan, but he likes this fella a lot. And he said that he's fast. He loves getting into the box. He's just been called up to the Spanish national team, and so which tells you something about the season he's just had. And so he's definitely something to a player to look out for. And if you can get him for 20 to 25 million, that'll most definitely be a good deal. He said that he is slightly more suspect defensively, I guess a little bit like Luke Shaw or Brandon Williams, but that he's fantastic going forward. He's a fast, exciting young prospect that any team in Europe he would be lucky to have. And I said, well, why are they trying to sell him then for 25 million euros? And he said, Ferland Mendy. And I went, fair enough. Transfer window is boring, says Brian. Yeah, I mean, listen, we haven't had the best of transfer windows so far. Pretty much everyone else has signed someone. And Manchester United, just playing a game of chess. You can imagine Ed Woodward. I bet Ed Woodward doesn't even know it's a transfer window. He's sitting there going, I'll take your rook, thank you. Like that. Do you know what I mean? Ed, the transfer window's on. You go, what? Oh, right, we'll better get some signings and players then. Do you know what I mean? 2 weeks before the first game. Nightmare. Absolute night. I bet he's playing chess. I bet he'd be rubbish as well. Delaney says, Luke Shaw is okay. Shouldn't start. We need better. That's interesting. I want to know what you guys think. Sergio Reguilón, what do you guys think of Sergio? What do you guys think of Luke Shaw? Is Brandon Williams more of a right-sided defender because of his tendency to play on the right? Yeah, let me know. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. We've got another super chat here from George Kyle. Says R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. That was his name. Yeah, his legacy will live on forever, and he will continue to be an inspiration to many. Absolutely. Yeah. R.I.P. Chadwick, because I think he was struggling with I think it was cancer for 4 years. And he'd obviously released, I think it was Black Panther and things like that in that time. And so it does show you what you can achieve despite struggles, right? And so we do wish his family all the best, and may he rest in peace, I guess, right? Because it's 2020 is just an awful year, isn't it? It is just an awful year. Nightmare. I'm not sure whether that's the way to describe it, nightmare, but it is so sad. But yeah, you guys are saying sign Reguilón. You guys are getting your RIPs in the chat now. Absolutely, we agree with that. Bond says Shaw is the best. Yeah, I think he's good. I mean, obviously, Goldbridge likes him a lot. I like him a lot. I think you saw him dip out of the side when he did go out of the side due to his injury towards the latter stages of last season. You saw a struggle, to be fair. Now, of course, I don't think that was all because of Luke Shaw not being in the side. It was to do with fatigue and other things like that. Maybe teams starting to figure us out a little bit. But most definitely, I think Luke Shaw was a contribution to the success that we had towards the latter stages of last season. Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba, of course, all being contributions. But I thought Luke Shaw did do well. Manchester United, sure it's not the real account, it's not. Said Sander, when do you think United will actually start trying to do some business? Next week as pre-season starts then, or... Listen, mate, answers on a postcard. You would have expected Manchester United, after getting top four, crashing out of Europa League. Listen, we got top four, got Champions League next season, we need to strengthen. Knocked out of the Europa League. Oh my God, we're definitely not the finished article yet. We need to strengthen. Transfer windows opens. Jadon Sancho rumours arise. Oh my God, he's agreed personal terms. Contract, fantastic. Here we go. Silence. Nothing. Do you know what I mean? Ed Woodward. There you go. I'll take your queen. Do you know what I mean? Like that. He's playing. I'm telling you, that's all he's doing. He's playing. He doesn't know about it. He's in Marbella playing chess. Ed Woodward. I'm telling you, he doesn't know about the transfer window. It's a nightmare. Daz Sweet says, if we were any more laid back, we would be sleeping. Yeah, it's... well, we are sleeping. We've not signed anyone. You guys are saying any Jadon Sancho news? Nothing. Well, Jan Agafiotov yesterday actually came out and said that Jadon Sancho, obviously he's got very close links to Jadon Sancho, to Dortmund and German football, and he said that there's been no bid put in by Manchester United, and so it looks like Jadon Sancho will be a Borussia Dortmund player next season. Which, as simple as that, like, if Manchester United don't come in with a bid, or a bid that is respected and significant, and one that Borussia Dortmund can consider, i.e. 100 million euros with some sort of installments and add-ons or 80 million or whatever, then he'll be there next season. We haven't even put in a bid. How can that happen? That's mental. United haven't put... I can't believe it. He's playing chess. I'm telling you, Ed Woodward's playing chess. I swear, I promise you. But, yeah, no updates on that. It looks like Jadon Sancho will be a Borussia Dortmund player next season unless Manchester United can cough up 120 million euros. So... there you go. Shrenik says, Sana, do you know why Lagi Ramazani, Aliou Traore, do you want to put any more difficult names there? Left the club for free. Such a waste to let young talented players go. Not sure, mate. Don't know. I don't know. I think it might be. I don't know. Himanshu says, hi, Sander Powell. What do you think about the rumours regarding the Glazers selling the club? Can it be true? Is that the reason why our transfers are delayed? Listen, I'll believe it when I see it, to be fair. Like, I've been sat there. I remember one time, I was pissed as a fart. I was so drunk. I was coming home from a night out, and I remember looking at my phone, and it was like the Saudi consortium wanted to buy Manchester United. And one of our board members, or a higher up fella, was in Saudi Arabia, mingling with them all. And I thought, this is it. This is actually it. As I said, I was pissed as a fart. But this is it, right? Nothing. Glazer's still in charge. So I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I really will. Suzanne says, they will not sell up the club. They make too much money. Yeah. I mean, they'll probably sell it when we hit rock bottom, to be fair, so... oh, nightmare. But that's it for today, guys, I think. Not much to talk about. Well, we have, actually. We've got... no, not him. We've got Tonali to talk about, but I don't have a slide. Sandro Tonali from... can't remember quite remember what club it was. The club he plays for finished 19th in Serie A. What was it? Let me have a quick look. Briesca. Tonali plays for Briesca. Apparently, United are interested in signing the young midfielder, central defensive midfielder. But apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, AC Milan are interested in the player, and Inter Milan have agreed personal terms with him. And so apparently, Manchester United are just coming at it too late. It's just a nightmare, isn't it? Tonali's a fantastic player. 20 years old, central defensive midfielder, would solve a lot of our problems. Could come in as an understudy to Matic. You know, Matic leaves in 1 to 2 seasons' time. Tonali comes in, bang. You've got a lovely little central defensive midfielder there. He's a top prospect in Europe, right? But what's Ed Woodward doing? He can't find the checkmate. He's playing chess. That's all it is. We've stalled on it too long, come in from it a little bit too late, and now it's a deal that's going to be done between AC Milan or Inter Milan. Nightmare. Missed out on another top prospect in Europe. So stressed out. Stressed out. It's a not an ideal situation. Brescia did finish, or Brescia, apparently that's how you pronounce it, finished 19th out of 20 in Serie A this season. But of course, Tonali's a fantastic player, and so we'd love to have him at Manchester United, but that doesn't seem like a deal that's actually going to happen. Sachin says Tonali would be amazing. Make it out of would be amazing. Let's get a squad depth, else we won't make it out of the Champions League group stage. This is the thing as well, guys, right? This is the thing as well. We're going to get embarrassed. If we don't strengthen this season, this summer, we're going to go into the Champions League next season and get slapped up. Pants down. Like, it really will be embarrassing, right? We know what the level of the Premier League is like, and if we don't strengthen, I don't think we'll get top 4, which is embarrassing enough in itself. It's embarrassing enough not even get top 2 at Manchester United. Those are the sorts of places that we should be aiming for. But in the Champions League, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, all these, quality sides, even, the likes of Man City, Barcelona, they're not doing fantastically at the moment, but I bet Barcelona would slap us up with the current side that we've got if we don't strengthen. It's an absolute nightmare, but... yeah, I am going to head out today, guys. I do apologise for the lack of news. I'd love to be sitting here going, Jadon Sancho signed. We've got Maxi, not Maxi. We've got Jack Grealish, Donny van der Beek as well in there, and Koulibaly. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to be sitting here doing that, but we don't. We have nothing. Jadon Sancho's not signed, and No one else has either. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I'm back here every Saturday morning with you guys until the season starts, of course, because I think our first fixture is on a Saturday, so I won't be doing it then. But I will be here every Saturday up until that point, and I might see you guys once or twice in between then as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the show today. Hit a like on the video, subscribe. Thanks to everyone that super chat, that contributed with a super chat, and I'll see you guys